So we've been seeing a lot of broken weapons, spells, Ashes of Wars with the release of the new DLC, so instead, let's take a step back and look at this weapon that I consider to still be powerful, but extremely underrated, that being the Spear of the Impaler, aka Messmer's Spear. And what a better way to show it off than to cosplay as Messmer himself. And now you're probably asking me, why should I use this weapon when there's so many more powerful weapons on there that just do the better job easier? And to that I have to say, I don't really know, just have fun maybe? Okay, so realistically this weapon, it isn't bad. It had the normal slow poking moveset of any great spear weapon, but that's not quite where it shines. It's got a super unique heavy attack that actually changes the weapon into a throwing weapon as you launch your spear towards your opponent. So on top of your normal hard-hitting great spear moveset, you have the option for extra range as you're constantly chucking great arrows at people. And so just pressing the heavy button will cause you to do a quick throw of the weapon doing some pretty decent damage, but if you hold it down you'll charge it for longer, and on impact, the spear will explode, dealing greater damage and causing an AoE at the location of impact, allowing you to attempt to either catch players through rolls or even hit multiple enemies who are close together. The only downside is that the explosive damage itself, the damage frames, don't really last all that long unlike some of the fireball incantations, so trying to catch people through their rolls are a bit tougher, but having the option for the mix-up definitely can throw some players off when using it. On top of that, the throw uses up a ton of stamina, so you'll see sometimes throughout the video I'll overextend by throwing the spear a little too close, but doing so uses up the rest of my stamina, causing me to take a hit or two. So really be mindful of when you actually want to be able to throw this weapon, or else you're really gonna have a bad time. And of course, another unique thing about this weapon is the Ash of War itself. It catches people off guard a lot because it has 3 different attacks that all have something special to them that players are never really expecting. And just keep in mind that you can stop after each of these attacks, so you're not locked into doing the entire animation, so that will allow you to do some better mix-ups on your opponents. And so the initial attack, you swing your spear from one side to the other, and at first glance you just say, okay, whatever, it's just a sweep attack. Well, it actually also shoots out this sweep of fire, giving it a surprisingly extra amount of range that sometimes will catch players if they're trying to perfectly position themselves, like right outside of range of the spear itself. And so on to the second attack. If you keep hitting L2, your character jumps forward a bit with a ton of forward momentum, pokes insanely fast multiple times, and if players are panic rolling, they are more than likely going to be caught in one of these pokes, doing some pretty decent damage. And then if you keep hitting the Ash of War button, the third and final attack comes out, causes you to slam down and then shoot up a bunch of spears from the ground that have a semi-lingering hitbox, so some players may actually dash into them and get hit by it. This move is very situational to use when fighting. In most of the background gameplay, you won't even see me go into this because there is a huge animation at the end that you just cannot roll out of, and you're just stuck in this animation until it is fully over with. And honestly, this is the only real downside of this weapon, because once a player realizes you're stuck in that animation, they will know to use strong spells or Ashes of Wars that just have you sit there and accept whatever is going on to you. I really think that they should fix how long it takes for you to break free from this animation, because man, it's basically a death sentence if a player knows it's coming. I found that the best time to use it is if a player is just spam dodging around you in a circle, then the spears that come out from the ground will more than likely catch them because they linger a little bit. But if they're just rolling backwards, you need to just stop pressing L2 altogether and just not finish through to that third part of the Ash of War if you want to see the light of day. Other than that, the spear is honestly flawless. But besides the weapon, another thing that I like about Messmer is his incantation. The Mesmer's Orb is a powerful incantation that has your character leap into the air and then slams down with a gigantic AoE explosion. What's really good about this move and usually throws off players is that it puts you so high into the air that most attacks will whiff right below you, allowing for a near perfect safety attack. On top of that, the explosion of the spell that ends is way bigger than I expected, and it will tend to catch players right at like the very edge of it when they think they are perfectly out of range of it. Overall, I think this cosplay as Mesmer is one of the more viable cosplays for PvP. His spear is amazing with the mix-ups, he has great damage, and the unique range attack is just perfect. And his incantations are crazy powerful with basically protections on them, and I think that's very important for some of the new DLC meta weapons. Anyways, that's going to do it from me, everyone. Let me know what you think about Mesmer's Spear and if it's good enough to really compete with some of the more broken Ashes of War and weapons with this new DLC. And be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of my future Elden Ring videos. And enjoy the rest of these PvP clips. Have a good one. Peace.